Today we're up on the north end of the county and we're at a customer's house, and we're going to go in here and we're going to try to work and fix an old Delta tub and shower valve. This ought to be fun. All right, so this is what we're working with. I already took the faceplate off. An old Delta valve, and the diverter in here is broken. Just pulls out. So we need to get this out of here. The nut and our old friend the bonnet nut. And I've already sprayed lube on all this stuff, but we're probably gonna have to cut that thing out. All right, so you guys see me do videos on taking these bonnet nuts off. They're almost impossible. We've been on the job for an hour and a half doing other work, and I've already lubed this up. I'm gonna try to just turn this thing off, but the chances aren't very good. If not, we're gonna have to saw it off. So let's give this a shot first. Well, here goes nothing. Wish me luck. Oh, look at that. It broke loose. I need to go play the lotto tonight. Oh yes, look at that. Beautiful. Nice. Now we can pluck that thing out and take the parts and replace them. We got that bonnet nut off there. This is going to be harder. I'm going to have to cut the stem out so I can get a wrench in there. All right, so this is what the customer bought as a replacement. Looks good, except these models don't have the cartridge in there. They have the little ball stem and the neoprene seats and springs. So I'm going to open this up and see how much cover we have for this plate, because it's going to be tough to get a nut in there. I might have to open that tile up just a little bit. All right, that piece broke. I'm taking it out. I need to pull the rest of this out the ball, see what I mean? Inside of there are two little rubber washers with springs. We're going to replace them and put this all back together. We still got to get that nut off there though. All right, so that's been really troublesome. We had to pull a couple tricks out, but we are definitely got this thing to turn. Nice and easy. All right, got that out. And if you look up inside of there, there's goodies that got to come out of there. So we're gonna have to get something to pluck that out, clean it out well, and put this all back together. There she comes. All right, lastly, we need to get those little neoprene seats and springs out of here. Nice and easy. Don't gouge this whole pipe up. There they come. All right, one of the last things we want to do before we put this together is nice and easy. Take a little brush, get rid of some of that corrosion in there. That way when we put new parts in, it won't create a void and start leaking. Here with the new one, I'm going to clean this one up because this has an adapter on it and I don't have that part and I don't want to break it trying to take it off. So we're going to just take a little bit of sand cloth, nice and easy, just clean that little bit of corrosion off there before we set it back in place. Now we will be replacing these two parts here. Okay, so I want to show you, see a little notch right there? On the valve, we have a little notch. When we put that ball in there with this, wants to sit in that notch. But we're going to grease everything up real good first, and before we put all that back together. New ball and stem, I was able to get the adapter off the old one, but before we put that adapter on, it has to slide up through from the back end on that one. Looking at something like that. See that? All right, let's put it in place. Remember that little notch we were talking about? It's got to line up over here. There it is, see that? That's got to get stuffed in there. I have to use two hands, and I'll put our bonnet nut back on there. All right, let's tighten this down just a little bit. We don't want to over tighten nothing. We don't want no leaks either. Now, if you look at this, this looks a little crooked. That's because at one time or another, somebody tried getting that nut off there and they twisted those lines back there. So this is center, even though it looks like it's off. That's because somebody tried finagling with that thing, couldn't get it off. Now we're putting the diverter in and we're going to wrap this up. Now on our diverter, we want the paddle end to go in like this. Not like that, like this. There we go. Nice and easy. You don't want to cross thread nothing. It's old stuff. Here, take your time. There we go. Got to get a wrench on there now. Okay, moment of truth. Ready to cut the water on. Well, hey, that's all the time we got for this one. Thanks so much for hanging out and watching the video. Some tricky business right there. Most homeowners and a lot of plumbers out there at that point would have probably said we need to replace that valve. But to replace that valve by itself would have been about $450. Not only did we fix that tub shower valve, while we were there, we replaced the water main shutoff to the house, as well as repipe above the water heater for the customer. It all came out to just under $350. I'd say that's a heck of a deal for the customer. I would not try to jump into doing any of this stuff yourself unless you have the right parts and the know-how, because like I say in a lot of my videos, it's easier to break those old things than it is to fix them. Got any questions? Leave them down below. Thanks so much. Until next time, it's been Plumbing with Tim. Keep plumbing.